what was the other one? The law of segregation. Dependent assortment, that was it.
And those are probably kind of not really familiar to you yet, and that's okay. So the first 3 slides, we're going to just really quickly review them and see if you can answer some simple questions. Okay, so let's start with that.
There we go. Notice our Bitmoji is pretty cool. All right. So review. Which of laws does this example show? A plant with the genotype big T, little t makes gametes containing either a big T allele or a little t allele. Remember, alleles are just the version of that trait, or a separate, or like a version of the trait. Right? Yeah, different version of the gene.
Two separate alleles for blue eyes and brown eyes, right? Okay.
So when you make gametes containing either one or the other, what is that called? 9 responses. There's 9 people with me. I know there's more than 9 people in this room. Shame. No, Brett. Daniel's in front of me. Yep. Both got brownish, wavy hair. It's going to be a struggle. All right, let me show my responses. Yeah, it's the law of segregation. Good, 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 good. Which of Mendel's laws is shown by this example? 2 alleles exist for a pea plant. Tall, big T, little t for short. It's either a dominant or recessive trait right there. What is that law? 10 responses. 10. The Greek. Jason Babelitas. I need to know, do you know, I always ask people, do you know any good Greek restaurants? What was it? What? How'd you say it?
Flocka Grill.
Flocka Grill? Where's that?
It's in like Vienna.
Flocka Grill? Okay. I always ask people, like, when they come, and I'm like, all right, I need to know the good one. Like, I have a teacher here named Mr. Nicolaides, and I always ask him whenever I go out and visit him out in Herndon or Rest, I'm like, where's a good Greek place? He goes, we're going to go here. I was like, okay. No. All right, let me see response here. Should be law of dominance. Yes. Law of dominance says that there's a recessive and a dominant trait for each trait. Very good. Is it good?
Yeah, never been.
I've been once. It was just somebody was really rude to me there. I remember. I was like, oh. We had a really good Greek place right by our house called Atlantis. Oh, amazing gyros. Sorry. And they had, Slovakia. Oh, Spanakopita. Now we're just talking food, people. All right, sorry. Next one. Which of the Mendel's laws does this example show? You can't hear me right now? Oh, no. Hold on, give me 1 second. Check your volume. Can you guys hear me on a line? All right. Secure, check your volume in the lower right-hand corner, my dear. It might be that. All right, which of Mendel's laws does this example show? A tall, rounded, seeded plant has a genotype, big T, big R, little r. It can produce gametes that are either big T, big R, the big T, little r, little t. Oh. That is weird. Well, they're annotating by T's first. So let me ask that, Miss Murdoch. Would it go big R, little t, or does it always, since they decide to go T's first, always have the T's first? I was just asking about the order of them, like.
that what you're asking?
Yeah, he just asked because we had little t and then big R.
Yeah, well, I mean, just because I was keeping the T in front of the R.
That's what I thought you were doing.
Keeping the same order, and that's what you should do. We haven't done the process with two traits yet, don't worry about it yet. But what this shows is, well, I don't want to tell you yet.
All right. All right. I'm sorry. I was just helping somebody on their issue too. Yes, law of independent assortment. This says just because you get brown hair doesn't mean you get the curly hair strand. Just because you have black hair doesn't mean you have the straight hair strand. Miss Murdoch, just to give you FYI, Secure is on a different computer and the volume's not working, so she's just going to follow along. So good. Law of independent assortment. I can adjust to that. All right, but there are exceptions to these laws. Sometimes one allele does not completely dominate the other one. Sometimes there are more than two alleles controlling a trait, and sometimes these alleles are located on a sex chromosome instead of the regular 44 autosomes in a person's karyotype. Remember we said you have 46? The 44 of those are your considered your autosomes. And then that last pair, the XY or XX, depending if you're a girl or guy, that's considered your sex chromosomes. And there's traits on there too, and we're going to get into those. And that's the reason why, guys, if your mother has a bald father or bald uncles, you stand a chance of being bald. Trust me. I know this firsthand. Not my luscious locks anymore. Saw a picture of me in high school this week and I was looking through stuff and I was like, that's what I look like with hair. All right, exception number 1. A little bit emoji there with the cow. Miss Murdoch doesn't know that yet, though. Exception number 1 is codominance. When two for a trait are equally strong and both are expressed, so the offspring show a blend of these two traits. And this is called a rowan cow and coat color in some cattle. So you see here it has the brown and it has the white both. That's because it's not a blend. It just shows both of them. This could be, I'm trying to think what other, an Oreo cow, would that be considered codominant? Have any of you ever heard of the Oreo cows? There's a cows that have both, there's a white circle in the middle of it and both ends are black. They're a real thing called Oreo cows. Look it up later. Check. So here, if you notice, you have big H for red. You have big W for white. When the H and W get together, it's called rowan, and it's a mixture of both dominant traits. So it's a blend of the two. All right, practice codominant. I will look for that. All right, cross a cow with red coat and a bull that has rowan coat. Draw the Punnett square here on the screen. What percentage of offspring will have rowan coats? You can draw it, right? You can put like your W's and stuff. Okay. So cross a red cow, red coat. So if it's red coat, I haven't showed answers yet. You already get it done, Mr. Babalitis? Oh, you're wondering if you got it right? All right. I'm going to do it just a second. I'm going to give people a second before I reveal the answers. Okay. Oh, be careful. This one, no, because one coat is rowan. So the first one, it has to be no. Remember, draw a red cow. Let me see. Anybody have a champion? No. That's a red coat crossed with a white coat. Remember, you're crossing a cow with red coat and a bull that has a roan coat. Mm-hmm. Oh, what goes here? I think this person might get. There we go. Here's a perfect example of one. Right here, guys. So red coat is big H, big H. You crossed it with a bull that has roan coat, which is HW. Then you go through and you have big H, big H, big H, big H, big HW, big HW. So a 50% chance of roan. Does everybody see how this happened? And it's just saying percent chance. So what you want to do? Yes, Evan, you have a question? Oh, okay. So what you do is if you look at this, how many chances out of this box? What are the chances of having a rowan, which would be HW? You look and go 1, 2. 2 out of 4, which is what? 50%. So 50% chance of rowan coat. So great job on this one, guys. This is how it should look. Sure, give me a second. Yes, I will, Pedro, buddy. Give me 1 second if I went too fast. Always let me know if I do that. I'm sorry, Pedro. I let you down. Good. Oh, see, this one's correct also. And I want to show you why. Because they kept it on the side and they put those up there and still gives you the same percentage. All right, so either way you do it is correct. Okay? A lot of people get stuck on that. Either way is correct. All right, I'll go back a slide real quick. This one, is this the one you want, Pedro, for your notes? Anybody else need them? I'm sorry, I went too fast. There you go, buddy. I was not sneezing in my mask. I'm sorry. I got some rules. I am civilized. Miss Murdoch, I just had to sneeze, and I was like, I am not sneezing into my mask.
Oh dear. Sorry.
That's okay. What I did for you, so that way I don't pass anything around the hair.
Everybody doing all
You're
right?
nice sneezing too. That's very nice, Nathan. Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, Cora. You remember that time we were best friends, Cora, and that changed? All right, let's go on to our next one. Incomplete dominance. I got a little Bitmoji on here too. I love my Bitmoji. Incomplete dominance. This occurs when the dominant allele does not completely dominate or recessive. So is there a blending of the phenotypes in heterozygotes? So an example is snapdragons. Red and white, the heterozygotes are pink because it's sort of like it's like when you put two crowns together, you make those other colors, or when you're painting. Painting to me is like a lot sort of like incomplete dominance. I just did a paint my cat or a paint your animal thing. Anybody ever done a paint your animal thing? They had the mosaic. It was right before. No. I brought a picture of my cat. It's somewhere in the school building. I keep putting it in people's offices and stuff because my wife doesn't want it at home. I think I'm offended by that. But it was you bring a picture, they put it onto a canvas, and you paint in there. And you mix up all the stuff together. And so what I think of painting is like an incomplete dominance. Because they're like, now if you put a little of this over here with a little of this, you'll get this color and this shade. And they're like, because my cat had a little bit of gray within the black and white. So like, so put some black over here and then dip some white over here and make it so it's sort of shaded in. That's what incomplete dominance is when you sort of have a mixing and a blending of it. Thank you. Just thought of that one. We did the paint. It was like painting. Yep, mixing paints together.
The thing that you should that I really, when you get to the next kind of square, just make sure you understand that the way the letters play out in the Punnett squares doesn't change. Whether you're doing something that's not recessive, that's just normal dominant recessive, or whether you're doing something like codominance or something like that, The letters are going to go to those same places. What's different is the phenotypes, right? What those babies are going to look like. So, normally if you look at a heterozygous phenotype like big R, little r, you would think, oh, whatever the big R is going to dominate, and that's going to be the phenotype, right? But with some organisms like the snapdragons, the big R, little r gives you a completely different color than either the big R, or the little r, right? So that's what you're overlaying here. The last time we talked about this, we were just, it was just complete. Dominant recessiveness. All of the pea plant traits that Mendel worked with, luckily him, was very simple dominant recessive. It's either this or that, right? But with some of these exceptions, there really is a blend. And that's not something that Mendel saw, which is why we're calling them exceptions, right? Things that meant that don't follow Mendel Law. Handcuff them, take them to jail. Okay?
Oh, this escalated very quickly. We're going to jail now.
I'm just trying to keep you violation of law.
Oh, I get you.
I'm trying here.
I just like to mess with you. She's like, I hate you so much. All right, incomplete dominance. Go ahead and cross two pink snapdragons. So pay attention up here to which one of these codes is pink. Now, cross two pink ones. Try it on your own, and I'm okay if you make mistakes, guys. The point of this is to learn. So if we make mistakes, that's fine. When you sit in your mistakes and refuse to listen, that's not fine. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. Pedro, don't I have the voice of an angel? Hello. In the computer there. Thank you, Pedro. Show responses. All right, I like what we're doing here. I am majestic. Remember that. Remember that, people. Remember that, Camilla. I am majestic. Isn't that right? Camilla agrees with you, Pedro. She said I'm majestic too. Stop it. All right, this one is perfect here. Right, now, this first one is great. I like that you kept them up here together. You kept them on the side together. So what percentage will be red? Looking at this, how many out of this square right here will be red? Let's see. Let me see if somebody has it. Ooh, this one. Be careful. What you got to do on this one, you messed up. That's okay. And you need to cross two pink. So if you cross two pink, one side appears to be big R, little r on the side. Because if you don't do that right, notice how they change between those two. Oh, another gun. One will be red. One out of how many? 4. So what's that percentage-wise? This is right. I like that we're doing this right. Oh, 25%. There we go. Chance. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, you guys are so smart. Oh, you are all my biffles. Don't tell Cora. We're all besties. Oh, hi. This is awkward. Sarah Taylor and I used to be besties. I can't be besties with everybody. I have to have a limit, Cora. I mean, Sarah. See, now you're next to each other in brown hair. It's going to confuse me. And I got Caroline over there. She's just judging me. All right, next one is multiple alleles. And this is the big one we're going to talk about is blood types with this. All right? And for some genetic traits, multiple alleles exist. What's something else you think you could have multiple alleles with? Something very common. What? Eye colors, multiple alleles. Yes. Yes. So a person's genotype still only has 2 alleles, but there are 3 possible that may be handed down by their parents. Eye color is another one where you can have multiple alleles. It doesn't have to be just 3. Like eye color, there's a ton of alleles for eye color. Right, Ms. Murdoch?
Yep.
I was right.
Ooh.
Ooh. So, example, human blood types. It's controlled by 3 types. You can, And you can have 4 types of blood, but it's controlled by 3 types of allele. It's controlled by an A, B, or O. I'll give a second, Pedro. Let me know when you got this down, buddy, online. And then I'll keep moving, okay, buddy? Did you sneeze in your mask? There's tissues right there.
Sorry, it's allergy season for you guys.
Oh, I would. She did it. I haven't seen it happen in person. She's the first. She's going to do it again.
Are you disappointed?
No, Miss Murdoch sneezed and she had her mask on. It's a rough day for her right now. It does sound awful. And her and I, the worst part is, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and this is the time of year where we get our allergies from the pollen. All right, Pedro. That's right, because she's sneezing it out. She's not taking it in. She's sneezing out the COVID. She's also vaccinated, so. So here's the types of blood. If you know your type, you could be either A, and there's 2 ways to be A. It's either with an A and an A, or an A and an O. The A will dominate over the O. So O is sort of, if, in regards to this, if it's paired with something else, it's recessive. It's not shown. Now, B blood, you're either BB or BO. If you got BO, you got to take eau de Bouchard. Then AB means you got 1 A and 1 B. So it means you got an A from a mother or father, and you got B from the other one. So that means you have AB blood. And then O blood means both alleles are O in order for O blood to show. Now, which one of these do you think is a universal recipient? Think about this. Look at this. On this chart here, you can say it in class, you can say it online. Universal recipient. No, O not O. It is AB. Because if you give somebody the wrong blood type, you can cause death. It's very bad. And before they knew blood types, when they did, people were dying from this, because you can't give somebody B blood if they have A, because it causes blood clots, I believe. Isn't that right, Miss Murdoch? Blood clots?
Yeah, what happens is it causes your red blood cells to start sticking together. The red blood cells are coagulating. So it's like, your blood going from being a nice smooth liquid to turning into sludge in the capillaries. And that's really dangerous, because if that causes clogs, that can cause, if it happens in the arteries of the heart, leads to a heart attack. That's why it can kill someone if somebody gets a transfusion of the wrong blood. It has to do with the interaction of red blood cells with each other. So if you put red blood cells into a person that have it's the surface sugars, different surface sugars on the surfaces than the red blood cells that are already in that person's body, it'll cause the red blood cells to start sticking together, and it turns your blood into thickened, sludgy stuff. And that can kill, really kill.
And so,
Nurses always make sure they're putting the right type into the right person.
so AB is a universal recipient. Which one do you think is the universal donor?
I love it. That's why I know that.
Oh, you have O?
Yeah. O's are the most generous people.
Oh, amazing! Oh, God! Ah!
That is a wonderful question. I believe your doctor knows it. The simplest way to do it is to, like, in a test tube, mix your blood with a type
blood
that's
clots.
known. And if you see a thickening, then you know, oh, that's not the one. So there's actually there's like a blood test kit that I used to have, where you have the different types of sugars in the different 4 plates, and you can put a person's blood in and see which one it stays clear with.
O can only receive
And then
O.
that indicates what the person's blood is.
Huh?
Yes, the positive and negative, those are RH factors. So that's a
16.
different addition.
We do blood drives here.
Type A versus B versus O.
Yeah, you
So
should
you
donate
either
because
have
O
an
is
RH
very
protein
valuable.
on the surface of your blood cells, or you
See
don't. Well, I have like
negative.
most people are probably.
Not really. I turned 15 and
Most people have their right.
Actually, so you could, what they do is, like when there's big accidents, they don't know blood type yet, they just get O right away.
Becomes a factor in
Yeah.
whether
So that's why. So O is very important.
Yeah.
donates to a negative person in terms of our age. You can also have dangerous symptoms.
I was just
Questions back.
I was just talking to Corey. She's a O, so we were talking about how she should donate because when there's accidents and they don't know exactly yet, O is the safe one to give.
Yeah, O is very precious stuff. It's also, I think, the most common blood type in the human population. For
Oh.
some reason. I've also heard the rumor that type O blood people may be slightly more immune to COVID.
Wait, who is?
I've heard a rumor. I wouldn't put stock in it, but. Doesn't
That
make
O
it-
might
I
slightly.
have a really
I'm
big, like,
type A
strong immune
myself.
system too. Like, really strong. I never get sick. As soon as I say that, I usually get sick too, so, like.
Okay, so here are the blood type alleles. Example, blood type is 3 different alleles, A, B, and O. A and B are codominant, but O is recessive to A and B. And when you think science couldn't get any more confusing. You're welcome. So type A, you're again AA or AO. Type B, you're BB or BO. Type AB, you're AB, and type O is OO. O, 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 O. Right stuff. Song by New Kids on the Block, if anybody knows, from the 80s. Rough group. Rough group. I'm judging you all. In the computer, you're my favorites today. Don't tell the in-person people. Oh, especially that Jason Bavalides guy. Or Daniel's just judging me quietly in front of me. Banky's back there going, can I get back to South Africa? He might go swimming there tonight.
Do you guys have Eros yet?
Huh?
Do you guys have Eros? You know what Eros is? Don't know what Eros is.
How do you spell it?
O-R-O-S.
Oros?
Oro.
What is
Let
that?
me get the advert. Because it goes like O-Ross.
That's great. Thank you, Banky. Ah.
Oh, it's orange juice.
Oh, it's an orange juice. Ooh.
Right? That?
Yes.
Can I see? Oh. Is it organic?
It doesn't look like
I only drink organic, sir.
It's called orange squash.
Oh, orange squash. All right, so cross a woman with type O blood and a man with AB blood. What percentage of your children can have type A blood? Ms. Murdoch, you made this a while ago, didn't you? That's actually, this is really nice because they had the practice right there and I can see it. Did we do this last year?
I think this was one of the first things I wrote for women who was going to yes.
We're getting into that time of year.
Just learning how to do paradigm.
We did one in class,
Yeah.
and then we went right to virtual. And then we all had to learn how to do things. And then I had like a month where I was just trying to walk outside every day because I was going to kill my wife because she was in the house working. And I was like, freedom, please. All right. Let me show some response. Please, everybody, you should be trying these. If you don't, this is the point of this because we are going to have a test on this, and we're going to have to do work today on this. Oh, yes, the first one I hit on. Yes, 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 yes. If this is something you got, this is correct. Yes, 50% chance. Yes. Let's see what we got down here. Oh, okay, they're still working on it. They're filling it in. Don't forget. Oh, you're just putting the A's because the dominant. You should put the O there just as well, even though it is dominant. Yes. Yes. Oh. Thank you. And here, even though you put the O first and the A second, it's still A blood, people. Surprise. You get a car. You get a car. Only 2 people in the car in the computer get cars, so we're gonna have a death match to find out who the 2 are. But very well done, guys. Excellent. All right, stop. Look at that. Oh, it is that. Well, I'm wearing my cat T-shirt in this picture. My Bitmoji always has a cat T-shirt on, unless it's winter. Then I switch to my flannel. I have wardrobes for my avatar. So, but I found this one that looks exactly like my cat. Like it's a tuxedo cat. Have I? Oh, I'll show anybody who else wants to see a picture of my cat. I will show you in a second. All right. Oh, that's depressing. Yes, Sarah? You're just waving at me.